about me. This game is played by two. Take your shame and take her hand and make it last as long as you can.
Welcome to the Killer Radio Show.
How's it going, everybody?
Welcome to the Killer Radio Show on RiverWestRadio.com.
It's a chilly, chilly Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We are coming to you live from
The
the
last video store in
Last-
all of the land.
Yes, so the ends of the video store Earth here, but they're keeping it real.
Yeah, for sure.
You're
I can't do it. I tried to come here and rent a movie once, and I was like, oh my god, I missed
too
renting
stoned?
movies.
Were you too stoned?
No, I picked out 3 movies, and I'm like, I'm going to watch these. And I got late fees for the first time in a decade.
And then you're like, no, it's not.
This is
Can't
terrible.
do it. Can't do it.
Netflix, just take the money out of my account.
No.
Can't even be
Do
responsible.
you have Netflix though?
I do.
Oh man, see,
I only
don't have
started
it anymore.
utilizing it again.
Yeah, we're just getting right into it. Like Jason has Netflix.
Dun, dun,
So
dun.
people tune in for
I'm
it.
Jason Hillman, by the way.
Yeah, I'm Ryan Mason.
Welcome.
Eric Thorson, who usually joins us, is not here right now, but he's hopefully going to be swinging by later. My dad might swing by. We do have a guest, Jimmy Lemke of Panther U, is going to call in. He had some car trouble. I'm not going to get into it, but he's supposed to call in sometime a little bit later. So if you're listening, Jimmy, the number is 414-935-2951, and nobody clog up the line when he calls in around 8:45. So we're going to talk about all the stuff that happened in the last week. Surprisingly, a lot of stuff happened. You know, last time we were talking about the election as it was happening, and now it's no longer happening. So that's cool. If you want to tweet the show, tweet at Cast of Killers, cast with an E, hashtag Killer Radio. We'll read your tweets on the air. So if you got something to say, let it out. And Steve's probably going to check those as well as Jason, because I'm not.
Yeah, because Jason's having a hard time signing out of his own.
So Steve's probably going to have to follow the tweets, and if we get a
Well, I
tweet, run
can't.
up here.
Can somebody tweet in how to sign out of your mobile account?
Steve, there's an extra mic here. I could swing this mic around to where you're sitting, and you can read tweets as they come in. I'm going to have it off until you're ready to talk.
Okay. I will not say a word.
Yeah, well, you're already talking right now, so. Here, we'll test it out. Say hi, Steve.
Hello.
Oh, now your mic's off. That's fun.
That's what
fun.
the sound of God is.
Yeah, that's
Hello,
me.
guys.
Hey. Hey. It's me, Steve. I'm over here. No, Steve's man in the ones and twos down there, as he always does. Yeah, well, I mean,
Speaking of that voice.
a really amazing thing happened this week. President Obama was reelected, but more importantly, the guy who does the voice for Elmo apparently did something. Did you?
But he recanted that. The guy that charged that said that he had done something illegal, then said that it wasn't illegal and it was consensual and he was of age. What a weird guy to smear. I don't know if you've seen A Puppeteer's Journey, but it's the most heart-wrenching, tear-jerking documentary ever made. And it's a beautiful movie. And the guy is gay, and apparently he had a gay relationship with a 16-year-old.
Is that what it is? Like, is he in trouble for this now?
Look it up. Look it up. Yeah,
He wasn't 16.
Yeah, I don't know how old he was, but how weird is that? Like, do you throw away all your kids like Elmo toys now because it's weird?
Right.
Like, it's just weird.
Does
now?
tickle me? Does the phrase "tickle me" just become just too much for people to handle now?
Yeah, like even just like tickling in general is like.
Yeah.
It just
Show me where he tickled you.
It just goes from like that thing being like this cute, harmless thing to just like altogether weird.
I mean, who would have thought a guy who spends his career shoving his fist of a...
Very on the nose.
Yeah.
Jason, very on the nose.
Very on the butt, actually.
I don't understand. I don't like the idea of anybody doing that to kids, let alone that guy. But like, it just seems worse if it's that guy. But I don't know. I should say I don't have all the facts. Maybe it was a consensual relationship.
I'm sure that it was, and this guy was just seeking publicity.
But if he was 16, though, I mean, doesn't that make it pretty heinous altogether?
Well, that's why you would have to come out the next day and say, "Oops, no, that's not actually what happened."
I guess, like, is it heinous? Like, if it's, I mean, there are people who, like, I would say that, you know, breaking the statutory rape laws is not good. But, you know, you hear people like Dan Savage talks all the time that, like, there are people that can handle those relationships. There are people that cannot. Where do you stand, Jason?
I think it's unfair. Like when you talk about the statutory rape limits, like a girl is 16 and the guy is 18, and you'll find out that the guy where the age of consent is like 17, so the guy will end up going to jail and having to file as a sexual offender.
But I'm just talking about like relationships where one party is much older than the other in general.
My thoughts on that, I mean, if everyone can handle it, I guess, when you're getting into a relationship like that, I mean, you have to understand the severity of what you're doing.
Yeah.
I
And
knew
like for a
comic-
famous person to do it seems like altogether
Actually-
just bad decision making.
When I started doing comedy, there was a producer I knew that was like 42, and his girlfriend was a brand new comic, and she was 18. And to
right.
my knowledge, they're still dating.
Sure.
So I mean, good
it can work.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it can't work.
But I can say when I was
It's creepy in a lot of the times, right?
yeah, when I was in my early 20s,
Like Courtney Stodden or whatever.
Courtney Stodden.
She's internet television star. I don't know. The women, I'm trying to relate to the women in our audience. That's the thing. You can Google it.
Oh, I'll tell you from personal
Or
experience.
Mary
I
Kate
was
and
like,
Ashley. Isn't one of them dating like a 42-year-old guy?
Really?
Yeah, they're 26. Both of them are, and which makes sense because they're twins.
Mm-hmm.
But one of them's dating a guy who's like 46. There's all these creepy pictures going around the internet. Like he
I
looks
think
46 too.
Okay, I think after a certain point, like if you're 28 years old and you're going out with a 42-year-old, that's not a big thing. When you're like 42 years old and you're going out with someone who still has teen in their name.
Yeah,
That's when it's a little
there's
strange.
a problem.
I was 22 and I went out with an 18-year-old. It's going on like 19.
You vile pervert.
Right. Well, the thing is, like, I thought she seemed interesting and she seemed cool and it seemed like it would be fun.
Wait, she's 18? I don't know any 18-year-olds
Well,
that seem interesting.
I was retarded and she was hot. She was super.
There we go. There we go.
And
You're like an onion. Just peel back the layers.
what was funny about it was though, like it only lasted for like a week and a half.
Shocking.
Because I like hung out with her and her friends, and I had to run away screaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my point is like, if you're like 40 years old and you're going out with an 18-year-old, how are you not driven insane by the culture gap?
Yeah, I totally
That's-
agree.
And there was such a difference.
Oh,
between
I got a way that
4
maybe you wouldn't
years.
be driven insane by it. Like, you are on a kid's television show all day. You're like permanently in the realm of children.
Yeah.
Maybe that's one way. Yeah, I'm gonna come out and say I don't have all the facts, but it's not a good thing. And Elmo is forever creepified now, so that sucks.
I have no
You know, there's
desire-
somebody out there with like Sesame Street tattoos, right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Right? Like somebody has an Elmo tattoo, right? And a lot of people probably have like cheeky tickle me Elmo tattoos. Like, and when I say a lot of people, I mean like a lot of just losers, like loser
A lot of
people.
blondes, no doubt.
You think so? Redheads, I would think.
Yeah.
He's most relatable for
Right,
redheads. Speaking of tattoos in the election, I sent you a picture of a guy who got his face tattooed with the Mitt Romney logo.
Yeah.
Did I send that to you? Oh man, what did you think?
Was that on his face?
Yeah, it was on the
I didn't
side
get-
of his face.
I got it on here.
Yeah, it's on like the side of his face.
Oh my god.
So he was raising money for Mitt Romney, and he said to like all of his followers on Twitter, like, if I raise enough money, I will get a Mitt Romney tattoo on my face. And I guess it might have went viral before then, and then he did get it on his face. Like, that's the worst way possible to get Mitt Romney all over your
I
face.
kind of feel like I accidentally deleted it. Do you still have it on your phone?
Probably somewhere. Just Google Mitt Romney face tattoo.
Okay.
And I bet it comes up.
Romney face.
Here's the best part about the story. He didn't tell his wife until 2 hours before he was gonna get it done. Like, honey, I have something to tell you. In 2 hours, I'm going to forever
God.
change my face.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Can you describe it? What
Oh
it
my
looks like?
The Romney R.
Yeah, it's just the Romney R, the curvy red, and the blue, and the space in the middle to make it look like an R. It's very much looks like war paint for the lazy person.
Yeah, it does look like kind of like war paint. It looks
he
like
painted on his
Eater
entire
X
face-
is what it looks like.
That is an entire face. He'd look badass.
Yes.
As it stands, he looks like a jackass.
Yeah, he looks like an idiot. Mm-hmm. It's forever. Like I
Mitt
understand.
Romney's gonna be forgotten in 6 months.
Like Mike Tyson has a face tattoo that we're all kind of comfortable with now, as comfortable as we can be with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with Mike Tyson doing whatever his crazy ass Mike Tyson ass wants to do.
Yeah, like that's fine. Like Mike Tyson can. But if Mike Tyson got like a Mitt Romney tattoo, wouldn't you just be like, that was weird? But like,
Yeah. I'm trying to signal to him to turn down my headphones while also trying to process his joke.
yeah,
It's difficult.
right. But that was.
He kind of looks like it's like Last of the Republican Mohicans.
Yeah, a little bit, because he also he shaved the side of his head too to get it so they had more like, I don't know, leverage on getting that onto his head.
Does
so
he have a neck
he looks
tattoo
kind of
as
like
well?
a Nazi.
I think he has a neck tattoo. That
Yeah, he says that he's a wrestler. Like he's in the like underground wrestling scene. I'm like, well, that'll play well with all the,
Well,
you know,
I guess
on the Southern Circuit, he'll be fine. Would
would have been funny if he had won. All of a sudden, like Chris Matthews had been freaking about the wrestling vote. They only won because there's a bunch of wrestlers voting for him.
I gotta believe that the wrestling vote isn't very large, considering how many convicted felons there probably are. No, if you're an underground wrestler, I don't care.
For you.
I literally don't care. I don't care.
They don't care about you either.
Yeah, that photo is it's like jarring.
Actually, this is the best one right here. I don't know if you can.
I don't, like that's divorce material, right? Like, yeah, if you're watching, Jason's trying to put it in front of the camera. That's like divorce material, right? Like you just, how can you not get this?
Huh?
It's like a mirror. There you go. There you go.
See it? You can't see
2 hours before he gets it, he tells his wife. Like, if you're his wife, don't you just say like, well, you can get this on your face, and I will be leaving with our child, or you could not get it, or you could not get it.
Well, of course, I'm sure he was in the news for about 10.5 seconds, so when he gets divorced, it'll be in the news for about 10.5 seconds.
Mm-hmm. He's like not famous.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, nobody knows this guy's name. He's Romney face tattoo guy. He doesn't actually have a name, pretty much. I'm not going to say his name.
For some reason, that made me think of the Werewolves and Lollipops, Patton Oswalt's album, where he's in the middle of this like really quiet moment, and this guy yells out and completely destroys the silence, and Patton Oswalt calls him out for about 10 minutes, and then that guy's forever immortalized as that guy that did that stupid thing.
Right.
Nothing more. And that's what this guy is.
Yeah,
he's a heckler.
He did one. He's a life heckler.
Yeah.
Like he did one stupid thing, and it's gonna be on his body for. Like he made the decision though.
That's Romney's. That's Romney.
What is Steve showing you? You have to share with the audience.
my God.
Okay, well that's terrible.
Anyways, that's Romney's base right there. That's Romney's voting base.
He does well with white males. We know that.
Who make bad decisions.
I feel like I can't imagine any situation where I would want a tattoo on my face except for a teardrop. If I do kill somebody, I do want to get the teardrop tattoo. But like that's a bridge too far. I bet there's Obama face tattoos. There has to be, right? The
That's
O.
just racist. Oh.
What do you mean? Oh, I get it. Don't you think somebody's got to have like the O, like the Obama O on there?
Right, but you can adapt that to anything after a while. Let's take a look at that.
I'm sure there is.
Got tons of his.
Oh, there's tons. Well, yeah, but that's like just of his face. It would be like on your face is what I'm saying, Steve. On your face. Yeah, there's probably a lot of Obama tattoos out there. But I mean, he's an iconic figure. You know, Mitt Romney is not an iconic figure to more so than like, you know, Walter Mondale would be.
Oh, that thing?
Yeah, right. But I could see. I mean, are you gonna regret your Obama tattoo? I guess if you get it,
I don't even think so, because I mean, even after Obama's long gone, you can still go, well, I was recording a part of history.
Yeah.
Because Obama's reign.
Not like the second time around, no.
Right.
Like you can't be like, well, I got it. I got it in 2013.
I got it when
So
everyone
you
else
guys,
approved.
the time limit's up on getting Obama tattoos.
Right.
Just stop now. Unless you were really moved by the second election. Like, it was historic the first time around. Now it's just kind of... Like, if you think the second one's historic...
This time seemed more about keeping those guys out of office than getting Obama back in office.
Yeah, well, I agree.
It doesn't really matter if anybody had been able to walk up to that podium and count to 5 and not say rape.
Yeah.
I would have voted for him.
Yeah,
Just
I
to
bet
keep-
there were a lot of people that felt that way. That like if there was somebody who could come up and give a solid point, like it would. I was honestly on the fence, like well before the primaries of the Republicans, but because the economy was so terrible. But then watching the whole process unfold and seeing like, you know, the candidate, like if I
The
vote this way,
lunacy unfold.
this is that party. Like everybody, and it wasn't just like one candidate. Like I can't even say that it's like completely Mitt Romney's fault. Like he said some stupid things, but you know there was a bunch of people in that party that said some stupid things, and it turned me off. So
It was a barrel of screeching monkeys, and Mitt Romney was the least screechiest.
well, yeah, I mean I didn't like his how much he panders, but like I don't know. But he lost, and that's that. It did seem anticlimactic though.
Great businessman.
Sure, yeah.
Terrible politician.
Yeah, he could run again.
Yeah.
He could run again. That's the silliest part is that they were talking about Republican candidates for the next election, 2016, and they're like, "Well, Romney should be on that list." Like, should he? Like, should he be on that list?
Well, our memories are short. Although we remember to hate Sarah Palin, I don't know if we're gonna remember to hate Mitt Romney once he comes back around.
That's true. But like, nobody likes a loser, you know? Like, America does like the comeback story, though. But then they would have
What's he
voted him
coming
now.
back from? Losing
Like
because of a
being
terrible campaign?
being a millionaire, like constantly having money, like.
Everyone loves an underdog story about a guy who owns stuff.
I like to think, like, let's say he does want to run in 2016, and the big knock on him was being likable. So, like, what does he have to do over the course of 4 years is going to make him likable? Like, get really into Sublime.
Be Obama.
He said, like, he's got to relate to Latino, so, like, learn Spanish. He has to learn Spanish.
Watch Friends.
Watch Friends. Like, watch every episode of
Yeah.
Friends. Drink a beer. Like, just
Be
drink
able to
one.
answer a serious conversation, a serious question about the state of Rachel and Ross's relationship by the 6th season.
And do it over a beer. Like,
Yeah.
be able to do it drunkenly. That's the important part, because it's the only time that you ever have to relate to a woman with the Friends stories when you're drunk.
And never talk about being a Mormon to anybody ever.
I don't know if that makes him unrelatable. Just have one beer and then, like, you know, or have one night where you go out and get drunk, but then, like, the next day atone or whatever,
Yeah, right.
then go back. Because, like, I don't know what the Mormon religion says about forgiveness, but it's a religion. So, like, I'm wondering, you know, can he go out and have one beer and then everybody can just kind of talk about it? Like, oh, he had a beer. Like, I kind of like him now. I guarantee that would have solved problems for him.
If he would have seemed like a human being.
Yeah,
Cut
yeah.
from the same cloth as anybody.
I'm trying to think. You gotta get rid of your horses. Just get rid of the horses.
Car elevator.
Yeah, get rid of the car elevator. Try a different haircut. Maybe grow the hair out. Maybe grow it out.
Have an opinion. That might help.
Well,
Have
that's
a
another
real
one.
solid foundation
Yeah.
of opinions.
Find something that you
you
said
believe.
like 6 years ago that you still agree with. Maybe
Right.
that's gonna be a big one.
Try to make a decision without a room full of advisors.
Yeah.
Like, do your own research.
It's not like the president doesn't do that, but I mean,
I feel like the guy's got his own brain, though.
yeah, that's true. Because he does what he needs to do. I don't know. I was happy. Were you happy when with the election results? Then I mean,
I was actually happier. I thought it would be a lot closer. The fact that it was pretty much a blowout was very
that was satisfying.
warming.
Yeah. Because we had been told so many times that it was not going to be that way, except for Nate Silver. Like everybody has to say that's a prerequisite. Like, oh, Nate Silver did say that this is pretty much how
Well,
it's
that's
going to go.
you know what the thing is like people on Fox News who are freaking out and saying we didn't see this coming, we didn't see this coming. That's because they were doing all of their polls in places for people that whose opinions kind of mattered in this election. if
Yeah,
they bothered
Romney
asking
tracked
them.
really well on the Fox News poll.
Yeah.
The night before, it was like
Weird.
90%, 99%. It's amazing.
They didn't go into any impoverished areas anywhere and ask them what they were thinking at all, ever.
Yeah, I don't
They didn't
know.
walk into a Department of Human Services in fucking Texas. Sorry.
Yeah.
And ask them what they thought, who they were voting for. No, they don't poll those places because they're afraid to go to those places, but they're comfortable with blaming those people
Yeah.
for the outcome of the election. Not
Not to mention, well, like,
any of the failed policies.
leave it
or
to the
ideas.
Joe Pita to blame blacks and Mexicans. Like
Right.
that's what they did. They're like, well, we didn't win enough of them and women. Yeah, like they did not have the heart to like blame themselves. They had to be like, well, Mexican and black people sure voted for this Obama character.
Oh,
What
my
are they-
favorite was the in Philadelphia. It seems like they all came out. You know, it makes sense that like a lot of black people would vote for Obama, but that seems like they come from a community where that many people wouldn't show up.
Well, wow.
Like a 90% turnout. I
Where
don't
did
buy
they
it.
say this?
Fox News yesterday. I'll say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They just thought they wouldn't show up.
Like there was a 90% turnout rate, and obviously a lot of people would show up in that community would show up to support Obama. But it seems kind of unlikely that a 90% turnout rate is something that would happen in the
Yeah, twice in a row.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they voted and they liked it. Like, you have to stand in a line.
Yeah.
Oh. Like, yeah.
They're just blatantly racist at this point. They're very mad at the blacks.
I would say so. Yeah, anybody of color, it seemed like that was getting picked on after the election. Like not they weren't like getting picked on in the sense that they were being talked down to at that point, but they were being like described as like, oh, they found their way to a voting booth, you know, or like
Right.
like they decided when they got there who they wanted to vote for and picked the person who was most like them. Like I don't think
The
that's
amount-
what happened.
The amount of ignorance that is assumed of that community by people in positions like in those in Fox News or all of those people, it's baffling to me. They just think that this entire group of people are just like slathering, drooling, feeding
Yeah.
beasts of welfare that would never be able to make their way to a voting booth.
To be fair, we described the right pretty pretty monstrously sometimes too.
When you say things,
Yeah, when you say things like, legitimate
Rape.
like you're going to be
rape is
described as a
God's
monster.
will.
Yeah, that whole thing.
You're a
all of those guys
monster.
lost. All of those guys
Yeah,
lost, which is
also
fantastic.
comforting. Yeah.
Yeah. So like all the guys who talked about rape like it was no big deal, all lost, and weed is legal in Colorado. Like that's a haul
Yeah.
if you're like a liberal.
As good as the conservatives felt a couple years ago when they got back the House, this is how good Democrats feel now.
Yeah,
Like,
I would think so. But they never like. What was the big get for like like the big
Power.
But the big power
The ability to stonewall anything that goes through there by a Democratic president.
But like they never really did one thing that you can say like, oh well, that's what they did because
They acted like
because of the
children, that's
Iraq
what you can say
War.
they did.
Like the Iraq War is going on, so they passed something like the Patriot Act. That was like a big thing that the Republicans passed in terms of like historical, law that was enacted. But
Draconian.
everybody kind of like doesn't like it. You know what I mean? Like once we all kind of
But we're not doing anything to stop it either.
Yeah, like
It was renewed it's been renewed, and
I think more people are going to look back and be like, healthcare is great, like as opposed to like the Patriot Act's really awesome. Like they know what I read at the library.
Yeah.
Like that, even if you don't care if they can read what you're doing out there in the world, like if it doesn't affect you that much, then it doesn't affect you at all. Like there's probably more people who are mad about it, yes, but like if you're somebody who agrees with the Patriot Act, like you're not going to look back on it fondly either way.
No.
You're not going to be like, well, this saved our
It's just a
our
thing.
butts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, that was a convenient time to pass a law like that.
Sure.
That's what I look
We don't
back
have to
on
talk
now.
about that. Let's talk about pot in Colorado.
Sure.
Are you going to Colorado anytime
Oh,
soon?
it's oh my God.
Oh my God, you look like you just got back from Colorado. That's what
you,
I'm going to say to everybody now when I think they're stoned. I'd be like, did you go to Colorado today?
Every single stone on the face of the, in this country is like, oh my God, is Denver going to be the new Amsterdam?
Yeah.
No.
No,
It's
no,
not.
it's not.
You're just not going to get arrested.
Amsterdam has culture.
Yeah.
So there's that. Can you imagine how many like potheads do you think found out that there was a ballot measure in Colorado on the books like the day after? Like how many potheads, even in Colorado?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I bet there was a couple of Colorado potheads who were like, dude,
There was a
weed
vote?
passed? Oh, I didn't even vote, bro. Like this is the best day ever. Like inadvertent happiness.
I don't vote, man, but that was an awesome vote, man.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think about that, though? Do you think it's going to actually stimulate their economy at all? Like, it is
Oh.
another taxable entity. Like
The
a
question
big
is,
one.
what are they going to do with it? In Colorado, they only passed a law basically stating that it's for recreational use. Like,
Yeah.
you can have it.
You can purchase it, though, too. They're setting up a consumer market for it. Do you need your microphone on there, Steve? When you need your microphone on, I need you to say, please turn on my microphone. Can you say it?
You can turn my microphone on.
No, what was the law? What do you know about it?
It's regulated, so you can open businesses, and there are
So I could
there's
technically
large amounts of money that go into the government for these agreements to sell
Yeah.
and produce marijuana. So yeah, I mean it's
Okay, yeah. So I'm curious to see what they do with it. How are they going to use those funds? Is it going to?
Well, it's going to all be dedicated to education. Is what they've set that bill specifically. It's true. That's what that bill says. Is they're going to take all the money that's earned from it, from a government standpoint, and they're going to dump it into education.
You're gonna have the greatest schools on the face of the planet.
Yeah, it would be the most ironic thing ever. I mean, are there? If you can find any more language on it, Steve, let me know. But like, they are going to dump it into education. I think that they'll have a substantial tax amount, but it won't be until like 3 years from now, probably, because it's going to take a long time to. It won't take long for like once they get the bill and they're like, okay, it's passed, it's legal today. It won't take long for people to start smoking pot. We know that, and it won't take long for like dispensaries to open because that stuff's already happening now. Like they're already setting up for that.
Got more dispensaries. Is this on?
No.
Oh, is it on now?
Yeah.
Okay, they've already got more dispensaries than they have Starbucks. There's like 4-to-1 dispensary.
Is that true?
It's totally true. It was some article that I read after the bill was passed. But
I mean, how many
Basically, every
Starbucks does
every
Colorado
guy
have?
that was selling weed under the bridge in Denver all of a sudden decided to open up business.
Which, like,
yeah,
I want to
they're
know.
all medical dispensaries, and with
Yeah.
this,
That's fantastic.
Also, now they're just doubling down.
there's just going to be like an increase of hemp
Ugh.
necklaces and shops. I think that's what's going to happen.
Turn your mic off again. Yeah, I can't. Like, what's going to be the first major company to get on board? Because that's what I want to know. Like,
Dow.
You want to put the stoners at a like a crossroads. Make their pot cheaper, but at Walmart. Like, see what happens. See if there's some hippie's head that explodes. Like, yeah, weed's legal. Man, it's so expensive. They're selling it at Walmart. That's twice as cheap. What?
They'll still manage to use exploited child labor to pick the
Yeah,
marijuana.
the little kids rolling your joints in Malaysia with their tiny joint rolling fingers.
That'll be perfect.
That'll be
Those so
perfect. That'll be
tiny-
so good though.
The joints, not the.
Yeah. I can't imagine like waking up one day. Like imagine being somebody who like follows the news, but like, oh, they passed pot in Colorado, and maybe you're not like a part of that culture. But then like 5 years later, there's just like a pot store on your block.
Yeah.
Like old people, it's gonna make their heads spin. Like they're gonna be like, well, what?
Boy,
like,
I miss college.
Yeah, like I guess I'm gonna have to do this now.
Bless you, Steve.
I don't know. I think it's exciting for I think it's exciting for responsible adults. I think it's not exciting for irresponsible people. Like there's gonna be a lot of people who get into that culture that maybe don't get out. You don't know.
I think a lot of people, that's a very good point. It's good for responsible people who have a habit that doesn't affect anybody else in any way, shape, or form, and they don't have to walk around paranoid that they're going to end up in the clean.
Or like telling everybody about it. Like I have friends who are potheads who are responsible, but like also they got to tell me about it all the time.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's way worse. Like, yes, I get it. You got
never
NBA Jam TE. Great.
Weed culture. I have no desire to ever be a part of a culture. Nor do I have any desire to tell people about the thing that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Ever like, oh, it's like telling someone about.
Other than to come out to
alcohol
Karma on Friday for the showcase.
It's like telling people, yeah, man, I drank a fifth of Jim Beam the other day. You're an alcoholic.
Yeah, like
Yeah, man, I smoked this
Hide your-
fat joint the other day.
hide your drinking like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it. I don't know. It's an exciting time though that laws like that are being passed, just in the sense that like that's a drastic change. And in my opinion, it's a drastic change for something that could be good. I don't know if it will, and I don't know if it's for every state. Like I do think there are probably some states where even if regulated, it could be potentially
Mississippi,
more difficult to like manage.
Detroit.
And yeah, like anywhere that has like
Michigan.
a major city. Yeah, Detroit would be one of them. Like I wouldn't think that would be it, especially in a place where like, you could buy it and then potentially give it to kids who whatever. Like even if you think like younger people can be allowed to smoke pot, like I don't think
What
it'll
makes you
go
think that
younger and
people in
younger.
Detroit would do that instead of people in Denver.
Because they're from Detroit, bunch of animals. No, I think that if the legal system, like the law, is already kind of strapped, like budget wise, and with the amount of crime that's going on in those cities, then like you know it's gonna be hard for them to. And not that it's one less law that they have to enforce. Also, it sort of puts them at odds with people in some ways. Like I just think that would be awkward. It looks like my dad's here. I think that's his car. Well, I hope he comes in and joins us. Well, we're talking about pot. We can ask him about pot.
Yeah.
That'll be funny. So I guess I could be wrong about that too. Like I don't know that it would be more difficult, but I guess my gut tells me that if this happened in places like Detroit, it wouldn't work. Am I wrong?
Yeah, your gut's fat.
Yeah, my gut is fat.
I'd be curious to see, again, with one less law to enforce, I would like to see if you could actually improve the city with a taxable income.
Yeah,
They're obviously
that's
not
true.
doing much. They're so strapped budget-wise that they can't do anything to improve what is, for all intents and purposes, a gutted, burned-out city. So maybe that kind of income would be beneficial more to a place like that than a place like Denver, than a place like Colorado.
True.
A place that's actually strapped. They could actually use the boost.
But don't you think that like Colorado earned it because they behaved themselves?
Yeah,
that's
no,
kind
for
of what
sure.
I'm
That's it,
saying.
yeah.
Like like you guys all behaved yourselves, and there's not like
There
a
you
city.
go. Here's a weed.
There's not like a huge amount of crime in any of the cities in Colorado, and it's like they do like to smoke pot. So here
They're
you go.
experimenting in a place where there's no.
What I'm
birds.
saying is we can't reward Detroit. Like that's what I'm saying.
Stop being Detroit.
Maybe we should take the money that's earned in Colorado and give that to Detroit.
Yeah, there we go.
Like we'll just use the power of like marijuana in the states that earn that right,
They'll
and
make
just
so
dump it
much
in the
money
other
that
states.
they'll improve the entire United States.
Yeah, just like one city.
Yeah.
Boulder, Colorado is now subsidizing all of the auto industry, so that's cool.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it'll be that big a deal. I don't think it'll change too much, but I do like the idea of them, you know, of that city just being cloudy. Now, here's my dad and my brother. Should we
Hey.
bring them on?
Hashtag Lael.
Yeah. What should we have theme music for Lyle? Maybe
Yeah.
our show's theme song would be a good one to get in here. We could do point counterpoint with them. I bet. I'm gonna play our theme song, and I'm gonna say hi. Just 1 second.
Hey. Pretty good. You guys want to sit up here?
Killer Radio.
We have a special treat for everyone. We've got 2 people who voted. Well, one person that voted in the election, and then one that didn't. Lael didn't vote. My brother Lael. And we're gonna do a special political segment. We're gonna do point counterpoint for Colorado's legalization of marijuana. So, which side do you guys want to take? So you can talk into the mic.
What side do I take?
Yeah, which side are you gonna come down on?
Probably that we shouldn't do it.
That we shouldn't do it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Lael, you gotta come down on the side that we should do it.
All right.
Is that okay with you?
That's fine.
Okay. All right. So the legalized marijuana ruling in Colorado means that people will be able to buy marijuana for recreational use. So, Dad, why don't you go first? Why should people not be able to buy weed for
You said recreational vehicles?
recreational use? They can smoke it in there if they
That's
want.
what I mean, right. That's what I mean. Well, so you start smoking weed in recreational vehicles? Be terrible.
Yeah, I guess people can get drunk in their car. I guess, Leila, you should be raising these points. You're supposed to be counterpoint. You're the counterpoint.
When there's not enough weed around, people have to smoke resin.
Yeah, that's a good counterpoint.
No, actually, we should have one. We should, instead of going back and forth, make his point.
Okay, he makes his point. Okay, so the money that's going to be earned from the marijuana that's sold in Colorado is going to go towards education. So for some people would argue that that's a positive, a net positive. So Lael, why don't you talk to that?
I think that's a great idea. Take all that money that you're making from weed, tax it, and give it to the kids. Get the kids stoned.
Yeah. So that would mean more people smoke weed, the more money we get?
Yeah.
Ah.
What's wrong with that? Well, you can't just say,
I think
yeah.
it's counterproductive to the world. I think it might slow down the... how do you get a job when you smoke weed?
Well,
I
it's
mean,
going to
you
be
know-
legal, so
Yeah, but you can't smoke. But you still got to take a drug test. So
there will still be businesses that will drug test and not
all
allow.
of them that a good job. They're gonna. You can't do anything in a vehicle.
Well, the next step I think would be
So
to
all
make
those
sure that
people-
people can't discriminate against individuals who
So
smoke
we're
pot.
gonna get more money so people can educate people who are gonna smoke weed who can't get a job.
True.
So what's
Well,
the
not
point?
all of them are going to do it. It'll close the market for squares. I mean, squares will be doing fine in Colorado, right? Lil, you're supposed to be making a counterpoint.
Oh, okay. As far as not having a job because you smoke weed, I'd say it's better to have weed than have money. So,
But if you don't have money, you're not going to be able to buy it,
Never
right?
been prouder.
That's like the dumbest statement I've ever heard.
I don't know about that.
So, all right, closing arguments, you guys. Lael, I want you to go first. You have 30 seconds to tell me your closing argument.
they should legalize weed and fund education through taxing marijuana. Not let people smoke and drive, obviously.
All right. How you gonna stop that?
Well, the same way they stopped drinking and driving.
Yeah.
Just get a legalizer.
So they think it may going under 20 going down the highway.
Yeah.
and smoking.
If I may finish.
I thought you were finished.
Just put a cop at every drive-through.
Yeah,
That's how you stop it.
There you go.
No kidding. Yeah, McDonald's. I think I really do. This is really like Doritos and McDonald's.
Yeah,
Those are people who are pushing this shit.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Sir, you cannot use that kind of language on this radio station.
I can't say brand names.
That's right. We do not say McDonald's on this radio station.
Brand X. They're pushing it. They're backing.
Yeah,
it. More
I
people can eat food.
invested in Yum Brands yesterday. I think KFC is gonna go sky high.
Coconut
in Colorado.
water.
Yeah,
Coconut water, dude.
that's your final argument. Is
Yes.
coconut water.
Coconut water, dude.
Well, I think Colorado's a great place to start.
All
A lot
right.
of cliffs out there, high places. People fall down,
There you go.
get buried in their snowdrifts.
You
I
really?
like it.
How many people are gonna fall off of cliffs?
Oh,
That's what you're afraid of? People falling off of cliffs? Dad,
They're gonna fall off the fiscal cliff.
Whoa, boom. Yeah, if one pothead falls off a cliff, isn't that a good riddance thing, though?
No, we want all the potheads. Yeah. Someone's got to dig a ditch, you know.
Take a ditch. All right, well let's play a song so I can talk.
Illegal Smile. How about that?
Yeah,
Got that?
I don't have. Well, I can't play a copyrighted song, so
Well-
I'm gonna play a song by Madeline Hansen's band.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, nice.
The Blue Ribbon Band, who I know you guys are a fan of.
I-
Big fan.
Yeah. So this song is called "Never Coming Back." It's by the Blue Ribbon Band. This has been.
And I'm never coming back either.
Good riddance.
I found you last night in a hotel bed. Not what it looks like, is what you said. But I had a feeling you're still sleeping with her. I
shake that thing alright. Hey, hey. Alright now. Listen what I say. Tell your mama, tell your pa, gonna send you back to Arkansas. Hey, hey. Alright now. Listen what I say. When you see me in misery, come on, baby, see by me. Yeah. Hey, hey. All right now, listen what I say. See the girl with the red dress on, she can do the bullet all night long. Oh. Hey, hey. All right now, tell me what I say. Tell me what I say.
Tell me what I say.
Tell me what I say.
Tell me what I say.
Tell me what I say. Tell me what I say right now. Tell me what I say.
Tell me what I say.
Tell me what I say.
All right, we're back. And if Jimmy's listening, our guest, call in again. It's 414-935-2951. Don't call if you're not him. I was chatting with my father. He convinced me don't smoke weed, but then Leo convinced me after that. So do smoke weed is what I'm saying. This should be on. It's all hooked up, right? Well, while we wait for that, we're gonna have Jimmy Lemke. He runs PantherU.com. Also runs the Twitter at PantherU. So check that out. Steve, tweet him to tune in or to call in.
I did.
Okay.
Wait, I said 5 minutes. Hang on.
Oh, okay. So now we gotta kill 5 minutes. Is that what this is?
Well, that was.
I feel like
4
this-
minutes
Was
ago.
that 4 minutes ago?
That was 4
Remember that conversation we had with the DJ? He
Yeah.
just kind of backed off and
DJ Mighty Thor?
yeah. This is gonna be your interview.
Yeah. Where he started talking about DJ things, and I was like, I don't know anything about anything.
Yeah.
I wrote down questions so that you could ask one of those questions.
I appreciate that.
And I just wanted to talk about like what it is to be a fan of the Panthers, because it's not easy being somebody who roots for a team that's like small
Juco
potatoes,
transfer?
small junior college. Yeah, is there any language in there that you don't quite know?
In the KC.
The Klachi Center.
Oh.
Yeah. So those are you're brushing up. You're brushing up. Well, while we're
I'm
just
gonna read them like I've never seen them before when I ask him the questions.
yeah.
Favorite memory.
So I don't want to get into a huge topic. It's Christmas time. Have you started to hear Christmas music around?
It's that time of year when everyone points out how it's too early for everyone to be talking about Christmas.
Well, you're like, here we go.
Here we go.
Let's see if we can get this going. Where's the call thing? There it is.
Hello. Hello. You're
Hello?
on Killer Radio.
Hello? Killer Radio, you're on the air? Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you gotta call in again. Call again.
One more time. Third time's
One
charming
more time.
here.
The phone thing doesn't work as great as I wanted to, so just hang in there. It'll work.
Well-oiled machine.
What's your favorite Christmas song, Jason? As a Jew, what's your favorite Christmas song?
When I worked
Dreidel.
When I worked at the mall, for the 2 months leading up to Christmas, we had the CD that had like maybe 8 songs, and then 300 variations on those 8 songs, all day, every
really?
day.
Which was your
Remixes.
least favorite?
Mariah Carey.
Oh, like all I want for
Yeah.
Christmas is you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Exactly.
classic.
I know. Classic.
I
doesn't
like
make it good.
I like Rosie
Oh, it comes
O'Donnell and
classic.
Smash Mouth's version of I'm Getting Nuttin' for Christmas.
Oh, yeah?
That's my favorite, yeah. Rap Icons, Smash Mouth. That's one of my favorites. There are some Christmas songs that are just like tough to even like get through, no matter who sings them.
Scott Weiland's Christmas album.
He has a Christmas album of the Stone Temple Pilots.
That guy, yeah.
Man,
he
that's
a Christmas album last
look
week.
how sales in Colorado are gonna shoot through the roof. I think
I hate what's oh my god. I'm trying
like Santa Baby's one of those ones that's like really hard to listen to, no matter who does it. Like it's just odd and weird.
Sing a bar for me. I don't know Santa Baby.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Do it. Do it.
It's the song from Mean
keep going,
Girls.
I can't- I'm
No,
sorry.
not singing.
I'm not quite
Santa.
getting it yet. Just got back from Colorado, remember?
Santa Baby, I don't know the words actually. That's how much I tune it out.
Doesn't even matter if you do. This is beautiful.
Yeah. It's good radio. Me singing Santa Baby.
Madonna's version or Taylor Swift?
Ooh, Taylor Swift. Yeah, that's probably good.
Taylor, does she manage to make it about a broken heart?
Oh, yeah. Why is everybody hating on Taylor Swift? What
Same
happened?
reason everyone hated on Alanis Morissette back in the 90s.
Because she's a
Way too
heartbreaker.
honest.
Way too what?
Way too hard on her sleeve.
Oh, I see. What? Well, maybe she's like
Everyone
19.
hates her because she's pretty and she's talented and they're not her. Mm-hmm. Haters be hating.
Yeah.
Z.
Get off Taylor's back, I say. That's what I
Just so
say.
she can write a song about it.
Yes, that's right. Otherwise, she will write a song about it. She'll write a song about it. Nobody's talking about her anymore.
Nobody's on her back.
Yeah, which is weird. Well, I guess we can talk. I don't know. He's going to call in as soon as I introduce him. Oh, okay, here we go.
Hello.
Come on. What's going on with this phone?
You pressed the white button. You're supposed to press the red button, right?
No, that's the call
Oh.
button.
You're supposed to pick up the phone first, right?
Are you? No, it's supposed to just work. when I
Wow, if
press
there's a
call.
landline confuse
If this
people
is
so
not working, I
profoundly.
apologize to the person who's calling in. Keep calling. I'm going to make it work.
Oh.
You talk, Jason.
All right, well, I'm going to give you a play-by-play of what's happening here. Ryan is attempting to figure out what's going on with the phone, why we can't seem to get a hold of our guest or why he can't seem to get a hold of us. He's trying a lot of things, very futile fashion, but futile
This is good radio.
fashion.
Where's this cord go?
I think it's more fun to just listen to you try to figure this out.
Where does this go? No, everything's plugged in.
So,
Oh, okay. I think I got it. I think I got it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
He's not going to call in anymore.
I think I got it.
Please send us, tweet us your favorite Christmas songs or your least favorite Christmas songs.
Somebody
at
had
Killer
pushed
Radio.
in the wrong button on here. That's why it kept hanging up automatically.
I'd love to know
So
what
I fixed
song.
it. I swear I fixed it this time.
I'd love to know what song gets you waking up in the middle of the night screaming in a cold sweat.
In a cold, cold sweat.
A cold Christmas sweat.
Tell him to call in one more time, Steve. Keep tweeting. This is efforting. This is internet radio at its finest right here. So
It's internetiest.
please tweet in to tell me who won the argument for pot too. I have a feeling our audience isn't going to side with you, Dad. I apologize for that.
They're all high.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if this
Here we
works.
go.
Killer Radio, you're on the air.
Hi, this is Jimmy Lemke.
Oh my gosh, that it worked. I'm sorry. Somebody at the radio station had pushed in a button that made me drop your call a bunch of times, so I apologize for that.
Oh,
I appreciate you
that guy's
pushing through,
that
though.
guy's a jackass.
Yes, he is a jerk ass. How are you doing? This is Jimmy Lemke from Panther U, correct?
Hi, yeah, that's me.
PantherU.com.
you on the
Is that how you want to be?
That's true. Yeah, I guess that would be the best one. PantherU.com. I'm also the chapter president of the Milwaukee chapter of the National Socialist Party.
Is that true?
I know it says no, of course not. Jesus Christ.
Because we would have things to talk about. But we wanted to bring you on because the start of UWM basketball season is upon us, and you're kind of the guy. Like, you're kind of the guy who tells people what's going on.
Yeah, the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel really just doesn't cover the team, like, at all.
That's true.
Why do you think that is?
I think on high you have a lot of people who are Marquette grads or Madison grads, and they kind of look down their nose upon the East Side area. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So there's that. So I just always kind of I've always kind of thought that the way they should play it and the way they should do with marketing is that they should just be like, this is kind of like counterculture. Like, we're not the team that everybody likes. So.
That's true. Yeah. So, I mean, talk a little bit about what it's like to be a Panther fan. Like, how long have you been a fan? I mean,
I've been a fan since I was 18. When I came to school down here, so this was fall of 2005 was my freshman year, and they were just coming off the Sweet 16 appearance, which was like so exciting for all of us kids at my high school who were like going to UWM for the first time.
Yeah. Did you watch it from your home?
Like, oh my God, like the school we're going to is actually relevant this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was great, but it's not like that at all.
No.
I would say that like most of those kids that were celebrating with me when we were seniors in high school probably went to like 2 basketball games or something. It's very much like being a part of a group of Dungeons and Dragons fans. Like if you have like your group of D&D buddies, that's what being a Panther basketball fan is about.
I can totally relate to that because I both am a Panther fan and I have played D&D.
I've played D&D. That makes me kind of an honorary Panther fan.
Yeah, you're an honorary Panther. Maybe that's what we need. We need people to be like, hey, you know, like Panther basketball is the new Magic the Gathering. Okay.
Yeah, we need people to think of like we need like James Harden to come out wearing like a wizard cloak.
Yeah, he's our Mark
Keaton. A grand wizard cloak that would definitely get them in.
Rob Jeter is our Richard Garfield. That's for anybody who follows.
Absolutely.
That's the inventor of Magic the Gathering and the UWM coach in a joke.
Oh,
that's right.
God, what's the guy that invented?
So the team's moving back to the Klachi Center. That's something. I was a season ticket holder for 2 years, and I pulled out on the season tickets mostly because I'm busy, but also because I can't drink beer at the games anymore.
You have a lot of people they had a lot of people drop their season tickets going in this year. Basically, the athletic director came in and made the decision, sight unseen, that they were going to move back to the Klachi Center. And
where did you come down on this decision?
I had a long, lengthy article about why they need to have beer at the Klachi Center. It's just part of the culture of Milwaukee. I just don't to have a place in Milwaukee where adults can stay and not have beer. I understand, when I was 6 years old and I was going to Leaps and Bounds, I understand why you can't have alcohol there.
Yeah.
But, you can get beer at Chuck E. Cheese, for crying out loud. You can't get beer at a UWM basketball game, really?
That is a good point. We're actually being joined right now in studio by our third host, Eric Thorson. He's a Panther fan, too, so I'm sure Jimmy Lemke's on the phone.
Cool. Hey, everybody. What's up?
That's Eric.
Hey, Jimmy.
I can barely hear him.
Okay, I'm going to turn his mic way up. Say something, Eric.
Okay. Hey, Jimmy. How's it going?
Hi. What's going on?
Not too much.
Eric's a big Panther fan, too. We're actually in our fantasy basketball league together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you guys have, a fantasy basketball league? Tell me, is this NBA?
Yeah.
NBA,
yes. We are
I beat him last week. What's up?
That's awesome.
It's not awesome. It's even nerdier than actually going to games. Going to games is a social experience. Playing fantasy basketball is the furthest thing from social experience. It's
you're very much sitting on a computer clicking buttons.
Exactly. So as a fan of UWM basketball, it has moved back to the Klachi Center. We've talked about how the actual relevance of this team isn't as mainstream as other teams. Why should people be invested in this team? What about this product is exciting?
I think that it really has this kind of counterculture vibe to it that I think a lot of people would really like. I wish that the program would kind of I wish the program would kind of accept that and kind of champion that as their thing, but they kind of just try and be like any other program.
Yeah.
They I think the best example would be in the 80s Miami football, when they had the U thing going on, where everybody was just big on just big personality.
Paying players and doing cocaine, is that what you're saying?
Right, yeah.
The
I think we should
football have one of those.
I think we should have whatever rapper from Milwaukee come back and just start divvying out Coke coke and money to players.
Cuckoo Cal is available. I should say Uncle Lou is also available. So the guy who actually did that at the U, we could probably get him.
I think Ray Nitty's around. Is that's a thing, right?
I don't. What was that? I was trying to. Well, didn't Alondo Tucker have a rap song that came out? He was a player for the Badgers. Don't talk.
I've met Alondo Tucker a few times. I don't know if I want to have him like string together a sentence.
There is if you look out there is a rap video on YouTube that he created. It's pretty awful.
I'll have to check it out. As you know, we play in the Horizon League. There was this kid who played for Butler a couple of years ago. Now he's on the Utah Jazz. His name's Gordon Hayward.
Right.
Yep.
And right like when Butler was having their first of their 2 Final Four runs, somebody found this buried soundbite in Butler's like student file manager website that was him as this rapper G-Time and a couple of his buddies, and they made this rap song. And God, I wish I could.
That's what we need. We need our players to have some cult status. We need, we record this out of River West. There's a definite cult vibe to River West, and that UWM has sort of infiltrated into the neighborhood now, and I think we need to get them in bed with the kids who are playing the basement shows over in River West, and maybe give them some tips and pointers, like, hey, like, what you're gonna want to do is like just dress like a weirdo all the time and grow out a Civil War beard and take that to the floor and then dunk a bunch. Like that's it.
I've been very disappointed. I've been very disappointed. The good thing that I would say for all your fans listening on the radio is I would say find them all on Twitter and follow them all.
Yeah.
Because the conversations they have between each other are pretty much the funniest thing you can ever have. They have this walk-on guard. They have this walk-on guard named Mitch Rolke.
Sure. Is he out of Madison or Wanakee or something like that?
He's from Wanakee.
Look at me.
Wanakee.
Right?
Wow.
Deep basketball knowledge.
They had probably a 6-hour-long conversation between each other, like a week or 2 weeks ago, about how he looks exactly like Jesse from Breaking Bad. And they were trying to discuss whether or not Mitch Rolke would be good at cooking meth.
Well, I mean, is he a chemistry major? That would play into it.
He was talking about his chemistry class.
There you go. There you go. I think that's one of the things that now with Twitter being what it is, I follow athletes. I think a lot of people do follow athletes.
Sure.
And it helps to get an understanding and to care more about what they're doing on the floor, which I think has been kind of tough with UWM this year, especially. UWM has players leave like every year that should not leave, and we bring in junior college transfers. That's part of our culture, I think, as a team. Do you think that
it's always been that way? Even when Bruce Pearl was the coach, I mean, that was kind of like that. I mean, people forget all the names that left.
Oh yeah, it's a long list. It is a long list. But do you think that that's just the nature of college basketball for a mid-major?
I think that's the nature of mid-majors, yeah. I think that's just, if you really want to be successful as a mid-major, yeah, can you do it without getting junior college guys and without getting people to leave all the time? Yeah, but programs like that are really successful are few and far between. I've seen a lot of programs do that and not be successful. Like, Green Bay might have finally struck the year where they're actually good, but Green Bay for the last 5 years or so really hasn't taken any junior college kids,
right?
And they really haven't had any defections in transfer, and they've sucked. I mean, their best year was 6th or 5th in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So they're really not that good, and the reason is that when you have kids transferring out, like this year. We had Shaq Boga, Lonnie Boga, and Gerard McCallum transfer out.
Which I was sad to see those guys go. Especially McCallum after his sophomore year.
They were all really good kids, really nice guys. But the reason they were transferring out is because they weren't going to play. Have you seen any of the 3 games this year?
I definitely watched the game over the weekend, which was kind of a heartbreaker. We can talk about that a little bit.
The South Carolina game.
Yeah.
The reason I brought that up is Jordan Aaron scored 28 points in that game.
Right. He's the junior college transfer. Is playing he'll be our starting point guard, it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
I would imagine.
when he was coming in for his recruiting visit, I was there. I was in the gym watching it because the coaches couldn't be, because it's against rules for them to like watch kids like work with the team if they're recruits. And he was there, like practicing with the team, playing around, and this was like February or something. And they were just playing pickup, and you could see on Shaq Boga's eyes that he's like, realizing that he's never gonna play. He comes in.
That's too bad.
He stopped coming to practice and stuff, and you know, you get recruited over, and that's what happens at good teams. You get recruited over.
There's competition. Yeah, I mean, it was good to see. We can talk a little bit about the nitty gritty of it. If we're gonna drop players' names, let's give people who maybe tune in or listen to this on a podcast a chance to hear myself talk about UWM basketball. You, Eric, too. I think you know at least a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But I thought it was nice to see in that game. It was such a disappointing loss because the team was up by a considerable amount, and they actually they threw it away at the end in overtime. But it was nice to see that some of the younger guys did actually get in that game, which was a meaningful game. You know, some of the recruits that we have, the Austin Arians, and then just seeing the players like JJ Panas actually get in the game was interesting.
I've been thoroughly impressed by Austin Arians so far this season. I really expected nothing out of him for
like 2 years.
I was talking to Paul Spikuza, who's like probably the smart. He's a guy who does my podcast with me. He's probably I know probably the 3 or 4 smartest guys that know Panther basketball.
Well, you're talking to 2 of them.
Yeah, totally. And, you guys. And then there's Kevin O'Connor from the Sports Information Department. He's been around for like 15 years, so he knows everything. And then, myself, because I'm, humble. And then Paul Spikuza. And Paul and I were talking, and we were talking about whether or not they were going to redshirt Austin Arians. And now, 2 games in, there's no way they could redshirt this guy, because
he's got enough size too, where it doesn't really make sense. And like he walks on the court looking like a ball
even if we had enough guards, there's no way the guy's going to get on the court.
Yeah.
They need the good thing is that he is seeing the court, because by the time the conference season starts, freshmen really aren't freshmen anymore, and you want to make sure that they all have their time on the court.
Yeah.
Panaski has gotten in the game, but I'd like to see him play 15 minutes a game.
Yeah, he's such a big body. Like, just put him out there. Even if he's 5 fouls, like, make him be 5 hard fouls in 15 minutes.
The reason that Panaski's not playing for Wisconsin is that he really doesn't have a defined offensive
game. Yeah.
He's a guy who can really shoot the 3. He shot like 45% his senior year of high school from 3-point range, which would be like one of the top 30 players in the country if it was college.
Well, they're not. I don't think that the Panthers are going to be a real down low, bang 'em type of team, anyways. We saw that on Sunday.
It seems like they're going to be the team that lives and dies by the 3. And my column today on PantherU.com was all about how they need to not be such an outside team.
Sure.
And start talking about getting a guy in the post who's going to be there to assert himself.
Sure. Yeah.
Who's going to be really dominate down there. And the problem is that Harzma would totally be the right guy, except
he's not tall enough.
6'5".
Yeah.
He's
not tall enough. In the Rob Jeter School of Recruiting, getting a 6'5" white guy to be your primary rebounder, that's fine. Like, if he can get the job done.
It was great. I mean, he had 10 rebounds on Sunday.
That's what he needs to do.
But still, I mean, if he were 6'9", he would be All-American. But then again, if you were 6'9",
he wouldn't be playing for UWM.
He wouldn't be in Milwaukee.
Right. So you talked a little bit about Wisconsin. I know that's a big game for folks in the state. At least where I'm from, Madison. And what are our chances against a team like Wisconsin? What do you think?
Well,
they're banged up.
They've got things that they need to figure out. Obviously we have, we've got, some stuff to figure out, because South Carolina is not Wisconsin.
No, they're not. Not by a long shot.
And the other thing is that Wisconsin, I don't know if Wisconsin's going to let us shoot that well from 3.
No.
Like, we're gonna have to figure out how to play down low, how to really mix in a lot of ball screens, and like the X's and O's type stuff.
I think the interesting part is that a guy like Jordan Aaron is gonna give the rookie freshman point guard for Wisconsin all he can handle. I mean, that's a guy with a lot of mileage.
That kid's gonna be so overmatched, it's not gonna be funny.
But they'll have a lot of help.
I mean, with Josh Gosser out, I mean, I got to know Josh Gosser a little bit during his recruiting process when we were recruiting him heavily. Like, Milwaukee was the first team to offer him. And
right. I mean, he was from Dominican, right?
Right. And no, he's from Port Washington.
Oh, okay, right.
So much for your basketball IQ.
Whatever, Jimmy. Won't have you coming on this radio show and trashing my basketball knowledge. I'm sorry I didn't know the hometown of what's his name, Josh Gosser.
You knew Wanakee.
I did know Wanakee because I'm from DeForest, which is right by there. My heart resides in DeForest. That's what it is. I think. So, what are you most excited about for this team for this year? Give us some expectations and give us what you would deem as a success.
I mean, I think they need to win a Horizon League title and a tournament title at that. I think it's time. We're in Jeter's 8th year.
Right.
I know they have the talent, because once Paris Scully gets back, a lot of these problems are going to subside. Because Paris Scully is one of the top 30 three-point shooters in the country. Mm-hmm. So the guy, I mean, and as a team that shoots three-pointers so frequently, to have that other guy that does what you guys do well so much better than everybody else, that's just gonna help our game so much more.
And when he comes back, James Harrison's going to grow 4 inches. Is that what you're saying?
Right. James is going to throw 4 inches. Kyle Kelm's going to grow a pair. There's a lot of things that are going to happen. That's the one thing that frustrates me is Kyle Kelm is 6'10", and he plays like he's a boys' club.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with if there's one thing Rob Jeter inherited from Bo Ryan, it's the falls in love with outside shooting
tall
big men.
Guys that can shoot.
Yeah, it's
tall white guys that shoot.
Yeah, I mean it's fine.
And Kyle can shoot the three, so when he does, that's fine. But every time I watch him down the court and he starts hovering around the 3-point line, I'm like, get low. I'm just just go down low and throw an elbow into somebody.
Oh yeah.
I sit next to his grandparents at the basketball games,
and they're huge. We should say he has the hugest grandparents. They're enormous.
And by huge, his grandparents are probably if they stood together, if you averaged out their height, they'd probably be 5'1".
Really? They're that small? That's funny.
Yeah, no, I when they told me that they were his grandparents, his grandma goes, he didn't get the height from us.
You're like, I got that. Got it.
It was
I have
funny,
eyes.
Yeah.
So,
they're just like, his grandpa is yelling at him, Kyle, punch the kid.
Oh, gosh. Well, I think that there's going to be a lot of exciting things that do happen for this team. And, yeah, you can't drink beer at the Kalachi Center, but it is, I'll say this, it's a cheap night out for people who want to just go have some fun. Yeah. Find a bar, drink there, and find your way to the game if you can, because there's not a lot of bars on the east side, which sucks.
The game we went to
I had a friend who snuck in a bottle of
Merlot.
A friend, huh? A friend?
A friend?
Merlot. Let's call it Merlot, yeah.
Yeah, well, if you're short on Merlot, just find Jimmy Lemke at the game. I was in school around that time. You were known as the Merlot King. So
the Merlot King.
The down low round of Merlot.
I don't know if it was that time. I think that was that time I was dabbling in Chianti.
Yeah, that might have been it, yeah. You love your Chianti, though. You never know. So where can people go to find out more about this team? What's the best spot?
Dinner. Wait, let's say that again?
What's the best spot for people to go find out more about this team? I'm telling you to plug, because we're going to wrap up.
Tell me to plug. It's PantherU.com.
PantherU.
That is the word Panther, the letter U, .com.
Yep.
Fantastic.
spelled normally like every other .com. It's not like .klm or something.
I would say, if you want to just find out a little bit, follow Jimmy on Twitter. Follow @PantherU because I do that, and if you don't have time to make it to the website, or maybe you want to be routed to the website based on stories that you hear about, that's a great way to really get involved. So @PantherU is I highly recommend.
I would say that the good thing is that now it's mainly basketball.
In the off season, it's like Merlot or what?
Over the summer, I was I was splitting between the Merlot, and I started realizing that because there was nothing else on, I started doing a lot of wrestling tweets.
Oh no!
Like my buddy started talking about professional wrestling, and I just started getting talking about it, and we started playing the video game.
And you just started losing followers, like.
Yeah, I was like going on the message boards around the conference, and I was following Jimmy Lemke on Twitter, and he was really great. And then all of a sudden he starts talking about CM Punk, and I don't know what he's talking about anymore.
Well, we have a solemn promise from Jimmy that there will be no wrestling mentioned.
No, not anymore. Not anymore.
He's sworn it off.
Unless I'm talking about like Hornswoggle being at the next UWM basketball game.
Which we can only hope for. The Hornswoggle night will be, I'm assuming, sometime in December. So thank you, Jimmy, for giving us your time. I know that the phone was a little awkward, but...
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't come down there. My transmission fluid is like in a giant puddle underneath the car. And
this isn't car talk. Did I tell you that? This isn't car talk. Don't drive like my brother, right? Right, you guys? We just do those jokes all night? No, that's perfectly fine. We have a good system set up here when it's actually working. So it's nice to have you call in. I'd love to have you call in and give us an update as the season progresses. So once they got a few more games under their belt.
Yeah.
Sound
I'll
good?
go to some games too this year.
All right, man.
Yeah, and I'll find you at a game and say hi too. So thank you very much, Jimmy Lemke.
All right, yeah.
All right,
Thank you.
we'll see you guys later.
All right, bye-bye.
Go Panthers.
All right, bye.
All right, and we just lost all of our female listeners while we talked basketball ad nauseum.
No, Jason could talk.
So why don't we take a short break? Thank you to Jimmy Lemke for coming on. That was nice.
Yeah, that was fun.
I thought we'd mix it up a little bit. Do a little sports for once. We know we pretty much it's a little
like
outside.
I missed half of an awesome show.
But let's play a song here real quick.
Can we talk about Elmo again? Now that I'm.
We covered that. It was weird. We should not have started off the show with that.
It's in the news.
It is in the news, but it's like
It's definitely
weird.
in the news.
This song is called Coffee Cup by the Radio Faces. We're going to do a quick break, and then I will be back and for a short segment.
sunshine. Oh, I can't help myself when you're around. Working down at the beehive, I walk by you. Look and see a smile, I smile back too. My nerves are jumping, my heart is like 3 pounds. Oh, I know that tonight for sure. Oh, you'll be going home with that guy of yours. I want you anyway. I want you anyway. And I know the situation. I understand this ain't the time or place. But then I see your face. So tell me, baby, baby, do you want a lover man? Girl, I recall one night in June, big dance party in your living room. We stayed up getting wild and out and wasted. Oh yeah. Well, was it just a dream or a sweet memory? Your arms around me, hot kissing me. When I woke up, it was so real. I can still taste that. Yeah, now I know you still ask why. I can't stay with you and your other guy. I want you anyway. I want you anyway. And I know the situation. I understand.
All right, welcome back to the Killer Radio
Welcome
Show.
back.
We're done talking about basketball, I promise.
Yeah.
And Elmo.
Yeah, and Elmo's. It's a sad day
Series
for
of
Elmo.
unfortunate events.
And the election. We're done talking
Yeah,
about
we're done
that.
talking about that
Unfortunate
too.
series of tickles.
Yep.
And pot. Well, we're probably not done talking about pot, but
Nah, man, I can talk about that for
I want to say thank you to Jimmy Lemke. Go check out Panther U. Follow at Panther U on Twitter. We've got a couple of shows coming up that we wanted to plug real quick before we get out of here.
Exciting shows.
I'm doing the Karma Showcase on Friday. Please come out to that.
Me too.
Fantastic.
Eric's going to be in that. And
I'll
Chris
probably
Lay
not.
from Madison, who's a friend of the show.
Yeah.
He's got to call in sometime
Yeah,
here.
he does.
Maybe we'll talk to him
Let's
on
just get
Friday.
him in here.
And
Yeah.
Damon's hosting. So I mean,
Damon's hosting.
Let's actually
gonna
get Shay in here. If he's just talking out loud.
Chris Lay?
Chris Lay and JM and Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd
Let's
be
do
fun
it.
to have him in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're busy though. It'd
Our
be tough to
Madison
get
guys.
them to.
You know, speaking of Madison, I'm going to be in Madison at the Alice Improv, doing a show on Sunday
sorry,
night
the
at 9.
Atlas?
The Atlas.
Yeah, sound like you said Alice.
At on
sound like you said
9 p.m.
Atlas.
And then we've got a couple other things coming
I'll
up.
be in that as well.
You're
It's
in
gonna
that
be a
as well?
Fantastic time.
Awesome.
Well, I'll probably. Yeah,
I'm going down early, so
If
we
I can
can't
ride,
ride.
I'll come with. If I can jump in your car.
Yeah. All right.
Done.
Right on.
Yeah,
Sounds
I'm
good.
going too. I'm not performing. We'll just.
Oh, thank God.
'Cause it'll be a
people
great
can
show.
still go to the show then. We're doing the Circle A is coming up too.
Yeah, yep.
What's the date on that? Does anyone know?
I'm not sure, but that's with Jake Cornelli though.
Yep.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes. If you live in River West, you'll see a
Yeah.
flyer for that.
I did the first one.
And then Sugar Maple is coming up as well.
Yeah,
which
Sugar
is going to be
Maple.
really cool. There's a
Lara
lot of
Bites.
funny people in that. Lara Bites, friend of the
Mario,
show.
right? I think Mario's in there.
Myself.
I don't know. I don't
And
know.
then Katie Rash is going to be on that show. Friend of
Oh,
the show,
cool.
Katie
Oh, sorry,
Rash.
the Holman show. I got distracted for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's gonna be a great show.
Yeah, Katie
Yeah.
Rash. Yeah.
You guys have anything else coming
Whoever's
up?
designing Holman's posters,
Is
I was
amazing.
really
Oh.
proud of the
Oh
posters
wow,
you
yeah,
designed.
really awesome job.
And I
Friend of the show, Ryan
am
Holman.
ashamed.
Yeah, that's his.
Jenny
yeah,
does that.
Jenny does.
She's
those.
Jenny
a
does
rem-
an
Jenny
awesome
Bender?
job.
Amazing.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
She's a remarkably talented
Amazing,
graphic designer.
Yeah,
Really
Jake
good.
Cornelli's flyers were really
Actually, you
good
want
too.
to find out what her
that's true.
website is? Because people should
Yeah,
go
let's
to
plug
that.
her.
Yeah, definitely. Great posters. Great posters.
So
Yeah,
thank-
she's just insane.
she's great.
Yeah,
she's all around great. We should all be so lucky to have girlfriends. I should say my girlfriend is very great too.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah. Sorry, Jason.
Yeah. I mean, Sarah bakes really good gluten-free stuff.
It's Jenny Vanderheyden. So Steve's looking that up, but we'll post it on our Twitter. So I want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. I just put away the music, but I'm gonna put a song back on to play us out.
Thank you so much, 3.5 people, for tuning in and listening to our ridiculous
Most
ramblings.
people listen to it on podcast form. I can tell that, but our last show had people viewing it live.
That
I don't know.
last
That's
one.
inside stuff that you guys don't need to know.
I want to know. I want to know all the.
I know you
stats.
do. All right. Well, thanks everybody. This has been the Killer Radio Show.
Thank you.
Bye.